Welcome to Spicy Salsa Movie Reviews, where we try and keep it extra spicy around here. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell if you enjoy my content. Enjoy the movie review. Angry Birds 2 is directed by Thor Van Orman, who was once a writer on Powerpuff Girls. Our two protagonists in this film are Red, voiced by Jason Sudeikis, and Silver, voiced by Rachel Bloom. This brings us to our main antagonist of the story, Zeta, voiced by Leslie Jones. Angry Birds 2 is the perfect family-oriented movie. It has a lot of laughs and a few sad scenes. This movie captures the spirit of the early 90s Disney animated movies with solid storytelling. Sony did a fantastic job on this film. The movie was about the birds and the pigs needing to join forces to stop a new threat to their respective islands. In this world, I did enjoy the addition of a third island to the mix, which makes for some new scenery as well as new landscapes for our heroes to navigate. The Pigs Island took the worst of the beatings, so they initiated the truce first with the birds. The two themes that really stuck out to me in this movie are identity and teamwork. Red finds himself fading as his island's hero. He is beginning to lose what he believes to be his core identity, and during this movie he is trying extremely hard to maintain his hero persona. The teamwork theme is also a key theme to this movie, because for most of this movie Red is overwhelmed with problems, and he is having a hard time delegating. Once he figures out that others on his team can indeed help him, he comes at peace to who he really is. I enjoyed the voice actors. I think they did a really good job in this movie portraying the roles they were handed. You can tell that they were having a lot of fun with this movie, and the performances show that. Red and Silver probably resonated with me the most. I like Red because he has an identity crisis, which I went through something similar when I was medically discharged from the army, so I could feel his pain throughout this whole movie. So to watch Red lose his grip on his identity really meant something to me. I was also what you would call a nerd in high school. Silver played the role perfectly, enjoying things that others might not consider mainstream or weird. Silver is an extremely relatable character from that standpoint, and I love how she really doesn't care about what others think of her. The villain Zeta was just okay. In my opinion, she did provide what the story needed her to do, so from that standpoint she did fit the world. The supporting cast had the stereotypical bruiser, dummy, speedster, and mastermind. This was playing really well on screen because they had a lot of good funny interactions. I really enjoyed the group's chemistry. A couple of the side character baby birds as well were the cutest things I've ever seen on screen. I wish I could own one of those things right now. The music in this was simply awesome. It had a lot of callbacks to the 90s music, which I am sure parents will appreciate. The worst part about the music though is the challenge you might have keeping your kids in the theater seats trying to stop them from dancing. All the music was perfectly timed in their scenes as well. The cinematography in this world looked really beautiful. A lot of bright popping colors which kept you interested in the movie. It was really hard to get bored of this movie when you would see these bright reds, bright blues, bright greens, bright yellows. So I really enjoyed it from that point of view. I also really enjoyed how they switched between sets. So one second you're on a tropical island, it's all beautiful, all coconuts and palm trees and all that good stuff, and then we switch over to the winter island where there's ice and snow and there's lava. The CGI was really good as well. It's not really hard to do CGI on these type of movies, but you can see that they put a lot of really care into their product and finishing it the right way. The animations were very good. The Imposter Eagle was kind of terrible, but you'll see why and you'll laugh because it's actually for a good reason. All the scenes flowed really well in this movie. They weren't choppy at all. I didn't notice the transitions or the editing, so that's a good sign in any of these movies. If you notice that, then there's problems. The movie time was the perfect time length. It wasn't too short or too long. They did not waste a lot of time getting to the point, and I really enjoyed that. At no point did I feel like the movie was dragging, and that's actually how a kid's movie should be. I do not want a long movie where things are dragging with my 5-year-old next to me. Those nights never end well. The dialogue was really good for this world. A lot of pop culture references, which might go over the kids' head, but not the adults. The team worked really well together. I enjoyed their chemistry. I did have a slight problem with one of the ending scenes, which was supposed to be an emotional, dialogue full scene. However, they cut to a random singing scene, which kind of killed the tear makers. A lot of jokes in this movie will land for children as well as adults, so the dialogue was excellent for a family-oriented movie. Red and Zeta had learned the biggest lessons out of this movie. Red learned that you can still be a hero and work as a team, and Zeta learned the power of forgiveness, which we could all instill in our kids. My rating for this movie is actually pretty good. I'm basing it on its own subcategory of movies of animation films. I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. This is a movie that the whole family can and will enjoy, and I would suggest to everyone that this is a must-see. I will probably even see it again myself. Now we're going to get to my personal notes on this movie. They might contain slight spoilers, so if you're not into that or you want to see the movie with a fresh mind, please stop now. If not, continue, and thank you. There was a pop culture reference that I really fell in love with. In the movie, the birds, they go to somewhere called Flockbuster, which is better known as Blockbuster to us old people, so I really enjoyed that pop culture reference. There was also a really adorable little side plot with 3 little baby birds trying to find their family's baby eggs. So that leads to a whole bunch of shenanigans, and you have to stay to the end of the movie to see whether they get the eggs or not. The speed dating scene was also pretty cringy. I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. Even though Tinder has taken over now, speed dating used to be a thing with us older people. So, I really enjoyed that callback. This movie also did an excellent job with playing on words. There was this scene where a pig called in SEAL Team 6. Well, never mind, I actually mean Squeal Team 6. And I thought that was pretty clever, pretty funny. I really liked it. There's also a random love story between a seal and a frozen dog that is quite adorable. I really enjoyed when the seal would steal food and then look back at the camera and wink, then obviously get away. Another great scene that I really admired, the big bomb, the Blackbird, was singing opera. Obviously, the Blackbird's voice is really deep, so to hit the high notes like that, I was a little shocked, a little stunned. Obviously, it was voiceover, but I thought it was pretty funny. It worked well for that scene. The Imposter Eagle Gag was also pretty funny in this movie. All these animals jumped into a stuffed eagle, and the eagle was trying to get into Zeta's base. They had this really funny scene where the eagle is trying to steal another eagle's ID card in urinals in the bathroom. So, that always reminds me on why I use stalls and not urinals, because maybe someone's going to jack my ID card. Not really, but, it was pretty funny to see, and a lot of hijinks went on. You'll enjoy it. There's a really unfortunate scene where the bad type of feminism rears its ugly head in the movie, and you will immediately know what scene I'm talking about when you see it. The saving grace for this scene is that it is completely rectified in the end. So Zeta, specifically, learned from her mistakes. Speaking of learning from your mistakes, Red as well, he learned a lot of different lessons in this movie. A really touching scene is where Red is being praised for being the sole hero at the end, and he defers rightfully to his team and Silver. Everyone still sees him as a hero, but a hero that works with others. Heroes now, which is more impressive in my opinion. It really shows you that it takes a team to do something great, not just one person, not one man, not one woman, not one bird, It takes everybody. So I really enjoyed that lesson in this movie. And now you made it to the end of the movie review. So please, I suggest everyone go watch this. If you like my content, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. I want to keep producing one every other day. I want to do a new movie review. So please help me out. I appreciate everyone who's subscribed so far. You're part of the Founders Club. That's going to be for everyone under 100 who subscribe as part of the Founders Club. Once I reach 100 subscribers, I would like to do something special for the people who followed me. That it means a lot because I put in all this work because I love giving back. I love seeing, I love cinema in general. but I love, giving my opinion to people, and maybe they don't think my opinion is too great, maybe they do, but either way, I want my opinion out there, and I want other people to, share their opinion with me. So that's why I would like you to leave some comments below about Angry Birds 2, whether you liked it or not. And please check out my other videos. I have a few more out here. But thank you all for joining.